Hello everyone. I'm here to ramble again. This was something I did last year. I've decided to just do it again. If you've seen my videos last year, you know I had this thing where I basically looked back 10 years and see what was happening, specifically towards media though. So last year, 2023, I looked at stuff that happened in 2013. So I'm gonna redo that here in 2024. Man, 2014, what was happening back then? Ebola, that was pretty big. Snapchat was one of the biggest apps among 18-year-olds that year. I had no idea. I didn't have Snapchat till like 2018. But Facebook, however, was the biggest app in general. Thank you, BuzzFeed, for that information. The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. A lot of people were doing it. I can't tell you if they actually donated to the cause or they just wanted to dump ice cold water on them, but a lot of people did it. 50 Cent comes to mind a lot. LeBron did it. Donald Trump did it. Vanos did it. I'll talk about Vanos later. That Justin Bieber mugshot, man. This dude was all over the place back in the 2010s. I remember growing up and you really couldn't escape the dude. I do remember liking his music though back in the day. Hey, back in elementary school, there were some songs that slapped, I can't lie. But I've grown up now. I'm kind of just indifferent to Justin Bieber. Why is the Justin Timberlake mugshot here? Anyway, sorry. Yeah, speaking of Justin Bieber though, that brother was abused back in the day. He was taken advantage of a lot, dude. All the ladies touching him while he was a kid, by the way. And don't even get me started on that 48 hours with Diddy. 48 hours with Diddy? How old was Bieber in 2009? 15, yeah. Lock that man up. Pretty topical right now for Diddy. Lock that man up. Keep him there. I've come to be more sympathetic towards Bieber, knowing how messed up his childhood was. Yeah. Let's see what else happened in 2014. That Malaysia flight that went missing. Don't know whatever happened to those guys. I remember seeing this video of a guy who was drunkenly trying to solve the case. Unfortunately, he did not solve the case. He was just drunk. But that guy's account is so funny. And yeah, there's probably a bunch of other more historical events, but I'm not here to run down everything that happened in 2014. Basically, if you see my video from last year, I look at specific types of media and see if I have anything to say about them. You know, I'd like to have a little discussion, a little ramble, a little yap sesh on what I felt was somewhat impactful to me, and maybe some things that I haven't gone into yet, but are pretty big not to mention, so I will mention them throughout the video. Yeah, stuff that was somewhat impactful to me and maybe the world at large. But like I said, there are multiple instances where I did not consume the media during the year, but either I came back to them sometime in the future, because you know, I was a broke, sheltered little shit. Like I said, I still need to consume them at a later date because I am very late to things. Let's see, what was my life like in 2014? I got my first iPhone. Yeah, I got my first iPhone, so that basically helped me gain a wider access to what we know as the internet. So that means I made a YouTube account, I made an email, I made a Gmail, I made an Instagram. That's pretty much it, because those were the only two social media apps I felt like having at the time. Instagram was like the first social media app I ever had. I remember posting like Minecraft memes and those old selfies of myself with like the filters and whatnot. Yeah, look at that. This is when Instagram had this as their logo. Man, times really have changed, huh? Yeah, having like these filtered selfies and like looking at memes and gimmick accounts is pretty interesting. I remember like first few accounts I followed were like one of my best friends and like the Miami Heat. The Instagram account I have now has been the same. It's the one from 2014. Of course, everything from 2014 has been scrapped at this point because if I still had it on, it would look weird. I like to clean things up a bit, even though I don't really care if it's still on there, but it probably would have been pretty funny if it was still on there. But it's not. I think my latest post is like from 2015, so yeah, there's that. But yeah, when it came to like YouTube, I kind of had a strong understanding of it before 2014, because you know, you could have watched it on your computer. I couldn't watch a lot of it though, because like a lot of people had to use the family computer. So when I had it on my phone, it's like, wow, there's just a lot of stuff at my fingertips now. In fact, once you have an iPhone, you have a lot of stuff at your fingertips. The internet, Instagram, YouTube. Kind of crazy where we are 10 years later, but yeah. Yeah, so when it comes to media that has impacted me, I'm talking about the Holy Trinity. That's anime, video games, and music. That's all a person ever really needs, to be honest. besides food, but that's not the point. With that being said, I don't know how else to introduce this, so let's get right into anime. This section probably isn't going to be too long since my anime watch list is super thin, but there were some slappers and heavy hitters a decade back. The first one I'd like to introduce is Your Lie in April. Okay, so this anime was kind of insane. Basically, the gist of it, I know it's been a decade, right? If you haven't watched it, you deserve to be spoiled. Actually, the reason why I watched this anime is because one, I've been told to watch it because it's pretty good. Two, I saw this video Ludwig posted where he was singing anime songs. It's like this anime theme song guessing game online, and they were playing it with a spin, and Ludwig had to sing it. Ludwig sang the Your Lie in April theme song, and he basically spoiled it for me by singing parts of the theme song.
Bit of a spoiler, don't you think? No shot if you haven't watched it yet. Then suck my dick.
You know, with different lyrics and all. So, that gave me reason to finally watch this anime, because I'm like, you know what, fuck you. If you're gonna spoil it, let me see it for myself. And he was right. He was right. Everything he said was right. So, I guess it's technically my bad for not watching it all these years. Maybe it's Ludwig's fault for inadvertently spoiling it years later, but, yeah, fuck you, Ludwig. I'm just kidding. I love you, Ludwig. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows what you've done in your past. But, yes, for any anime newcomers who haven't watched this, yet, I'll just say is, damn. If you like music, there's some banging tunes in here. Talented pianist right here. I forgot his name. I'm sorry. I watched it like a few months ago, and I already forgot it because I already loved it too much. And then a very talented violinist. A lot of talk about trauma, music, reflection, and bad stuff. I liked it. I suggest you watch it if you haven't already. Yeah. Good anime. Good anime. But another anime that did release this year that I didn't even notice, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Stardust Crusaders, man. I think this part is my favorite part so far, but I remember last year I mentioned it because there's like 6 parts in the anime. Parts 1 and 2 came out sometime last year, and then came Stardust Crusaders, which is kind of insane considering that it took like a year only for it to get developed and produced. But yeah, I will say this anime is freaking insane. It's another insane anime. JoJo is one of my favorite anime of all time, even though I do have a very thin palette of anime watch. There's just something while watching Stardust Crusaders, I was like, man, this is so stupid, but this is so entertaining. I love it. In part 3, they introduced this stuff known as stands, which is basically like spiritual powers. I will say though, during the middle part, I guess it can get a little stretched out. It's more like a villain of the week kind of thing, and it's like, okay, can get a little sluggish and very formulaic. But I had a lot of entertainment coming out of this, just because I do like the characters. Jotaro is like one of my favorite characters of all time, even though he's very straightforward. Yeah, he's very straightforward, I guess. That's one way to put it. But when it gets to like the final batch of episodes, when they finally reach Dio, sorry, minor spoiler, I guess. That went hard. Now that's like one of my favorite fight scenes ever in anime. This part came out in 2014, ended in like 2015, so there's that. If you want to watch Stardust Crusaders, you better start from the beginning, because JoJo is not very long, but it is a long series, and you better start from the beginning. We don't do any part skipping here, alright? You watch from the beginning, and you're gonna like it. Yes, part 3 is probably one of my favorite parts so far. Anime-wise, I haven't read the manga yet. It's like part 3, part 6, part 5, 4, then like 1 and 2. It's something along those lines, alright? I haven't watched it in a while, but yeah, JoJo is goated anime series. Funny, action-packed, sad, and there's an episode about gambling in here. So, yeah, they really have everything in this series, in this part specifically. But yeah, when it comes to anime that released in 2014, those are the only animes I've watched so far. Yeah, I told you, it's not a long list. But there is this one anime that my friend recommended me a while ago that I still have not gone around to watching. It's called Parasite. I don't know too much about it, but I think it's like some sort of horror type of anime. I don't know. What does IMDb say? 17-year-old Shinichi Izumi is partially infected by a parasite, monsters that butcher and consume humans. He must learn to coexist with the creature if he is to survive both the life of a parasite and a human as part monster, part person. Yeah, so horror, action anime, you know, kind of freaky. But my friend recommended me this a long time ago, and he said it was really good. I still haven't watched it, so I'm gonna take his word for now. But when I do come around to it, maybe I'll comment on it. If not, I'll just text my friend about it, because I remember he was talking about this heavily. Stuff that also released that year, Haikyuu. I didn't know it released in 2014, but it did. If you like volleyball, if you like athletic men, I guess this is for you. I've never gone around to watching it. I don't know too much about volleyball, even though I'm pretty sure volleyball is not even like the main aspect of why people watch this anime, but I have not come around to watching it. I know it's very popular. Yeah, that's all I can really say about Haikyuu right now. Maybe I'll watch it, maybe I don't watch it, I don't know. It's not too high on my priority list when it comes to anime, alright? But yeah, if anyone would want to recommend it, I guess let me know about it. But yeah, I don't expect to be watching this one anytime soon, but I just know it's very popular. A lot of people seem to think that these boys are pretty attractive. I don't know how old these boys are. I think they're in high school, so if they're in high school, then you need to be locked up if you're over 18. But that's all I'm gonna say. Maybe I do need to rush up on my sports animes, who knows? But I like the music animes more, buddy. Next on the list, Tokyo Ghoul. This one apparently also released back in 2014. Yeah, see? 2014, it's a fucking popular anime. Of course people are gonna recommend it. What's it? It's very infamous because like I have heard people say that it falls off really hard in the anime. I'm pretty sure the manga slaps, like how a lot of people says, oh, just read the manga. I had a friend who said that like the first season of this was goated, and then it falls off like really hard after like the second season or whatever. It kind of intrigues me to watch it. Oh, and it also has probably one of the most popular anime openings ever. The piano version is way better than the actual opening. I said it, alright? Both of them have been pretty infamous in anime meme culture now. Yeah, although the opening is pretty iconic. Do I plan to watch it? I don't know. We'll see. And there's another one called Akame ga Kill. Like I said, I also don't know too much about this anime. But I have heard a lot of people recommend it when I ask for recommendations. I haven't heard anyone with too many strong opinions on it. I'm assuming it's good. I don't know. I haven't looked too deep into it. But yeah, Haikyuu, Tokyo Ghoul, Akame ga Kill. Those aren't animes I've seen, but they're big enough to where I go, huh, yeah, I've heard of it when it comes to anime recommendations. Yeah, this is not an anime, but I just, since this section is kind of so short, I'm probably just gonna mention it here. Guardians of the Galaxy 1. This is my favorite Marvel series out of the entire Marvel movie superhero franchise. Well, for one of my favorite wrestlers is in here, Dave Bautista, even though I didn't watch it when it came out. My main consumption during the time was WWE, alright? Anything else non-related to WWE, I probably didn't care for it, because one, I didn't have the money to, and two, I didn't like going outside. Chris Pratt, I know he gets memed on a lot for like his current roles. When he played this, man, I was hooked. He is a very good lead role when it comes to like Peter Quill and whatnot, and like the whole cast is like so good. And plus James Gunn and his like choice of songs, good stuff. I fuck with it. I mess with his playlist heavily. I guess since we're on the topic of Marvel movies too, I'll mention this: Captain America: Winter Soldier, which also released back in 2014. If the Guardians are my favorite Marvel series, I think the Captain America series comes in like a second. I do remember watching this movie and I do like it. I do like Bucky and the whole fight stuff they had with that. I think Captain America probably has the strongest batch of movies compared to like Iron Man and Thor. Good God, Thor. What happened, man? Shout out to Chris Evans, the other Chris in the Marvel stuff. Sorry, Hemsworth. And you know, on the topic of movies, I will mention this too because it was released during that time. Y'all remember The Interview? You know, the one where they messed with Kim Jong-un and the one where Eminem said he was a homosexual?
I like men.
Yeah, and anyone remember that North Korea threatened the US because of this movie? I remember hearing about it during the time, and you know, I'm a little scared because I was a little pussy who didn't know geopolitics at the time. Still don't to a certain extent. But yeah, I remember it was such a huge news story. It was like North Korea was threatening us about releasing this movie, and it's like apparently Obama criticized the movie too, and then somehow it got saved. I don't know the lore about this, but yes, Kim Jong-un gets blown up in a helicopter in this movie. I don't remember too much about this movie, but all I remember is that Kim Jong-un gets fucked and Eminem is gay. Yeah, and Seth Rogen. Yeah, shout out to Seth Rogen. You know, I watched Superbad on the TV yesterday, and man, those cop scenes were kind of funny. I can't lie. Some good Seth Rogen movies, you know, shout out to Seth Rogen. You know, North Korea was a huge topic around 2014, weren't they? North Korea fell off, man. I probably shouldn't say that, but alright, anime done, movies done, let's move into the video game section. You know, I do remember gaming during this time, but it was in this weird phase of like getting used to middle school, or intermediate school is what I called it. And it was also in between this transitional period between the 360 and the Xbox One, because it released in like late 2013. But yeah, man, it was 6th grade entering into middle school. You can't be worrying about no goddamn video games. You're becoming a man now. Anyway, in middle school, did they make y'all do makeshift school dances in PE? Anyone? Yeah, middle school was some weird times. Weird times. But yeah, I remember my brother had the Xbox One, and I do remember playing it because some of the games here I liked better on the Xbox One, but I do remember playing on the 360 as well. Let's see. First of all, let's do South Park, Stick of Truth. I actually never played this game. I saw videos of people playing this game. I was really into watching, I think it was PewDiePie's playthrough of it. It's funny because South Park actually had an episode with PewDiePie, and there's this one scene with Kyle and his brother Ike where he goes something like, "We can play the game ourselves. Isn't it better than watching some guy on YouTube play it?" Which is true, but as I said, I did not have this game. So I just watched other people play it. And plus, it really looked interesting, and it had the actual South Park cartoon style, which I really appreciate. And I do remember liking South Park a lot at the time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was PewDiePie and maybe Jacksepticeye, but I know PewDiePie for sure. Man, gaming popped off back in the day, huh? PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, Thanos. Damn. Anyway, a game I did own was Advanced Warfare. This is the game Carl and Ike were talking about in that PewDiePie episode. I don't even remember if PewDiePie actually played the game, but, you know, I remember playing the game, and I remember being indifferent on it. I played the old Call of Duties before this, right? I played MW2, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 2, I remember playing Hella. And then when it came to this, it's like, kind of indifferent on it. I played it because obviously my friends were going to be playing it. I just remember just playing it and just kind of going with it. I remember the discussion online was that they fucking hated this type of game. It was this weird new movement and all the futuristic stuff. This was pretty much getting to the start where people were starting to get tired of the whole futuristic aspect of Call of Duty. And then they went back to World War II back in like 2017, and people did not like that either. So Call of Duty has been in a really weird spot, I'd say, like post Black Ops 3. Sure, it's got some resurgence in the mainstream, but I don't play Call of Duty as much anymore. But yeah, when it came to Advanced Warfare, I remember playing it a lot. There was like a few guns that I remember vividly. The Bell 27 or that one sniper that I don't remember. I remember the Bell a lot though. And there's this one gun that was like a laser beam. I remember using that a lot. But I remember one guy that I watched a lot during this time, and that was Merc Music. Merc Music was one of the YouTubers I was watching heavily around this time of Advanced Warfare. And yeah, I haven't really watched him lately, but I know he's had some pretty interesting years. Did I play this more on the 360 or the Xbox One? I think it was the one. I don't remember. I do remember the campaign though. The campaign was yeah, Kevin Spacey, man. Kevin Spacey. I actually remember playing it sometimes with my friend that I would go over to his house because he also had an Xbox One, and we'd go to his house and play it. I remember that. I have memories of this game. Don't know if they were too fond memories, but yeah, I do remember playing this game. Not the COD I'd recommend you play though. Then again, it's an old Call of Duty. No one's really playing old Call of Duties anymore. Speaking of Xbox One games, anyone remember Titanfall? Xbox One players, anyone? God, I remember this game was talked about a lot during the Xbox One's like initial release. I remember playing it a few times with my friends who had an Xbox One during the time, and then never again. I do remember playing it, but just barely, because I never really got into it. I don't remember too much about it. I just noticed that there's like multiplayer, and I don't know, alright? I haven't played this game in years. But I do remember it releasing around the time. So there's that. Oh, but a game I do remember quite vividly, but never really played. Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh my god, okay. So, there's PewDiePie with the stick of truth to me. There's been one guy that's been synonymous with this entire gaming franchise since it dropped a decade ago. And it's MatPat. But I did not watch MatPat a lot. I'll be straight up. I did not watch MatPat a lot. But I know of MatPat, obviously. So for me, it's going to be Markiplier who's taking his place. I remember watching some of his playthroughs from time to time, but I had to hide in the comments for the jump scares because I'm a little pussy, like I mentioned before, and I hated horror games. But yeah, I can never get that goddamn intro out of my head whenever this game gets mentioned. Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier. How's he say it? Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier, and welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's. That game went freaking crazy. But yeah, if you ask me if I know the lore, I do not, so do not ask me about it. I know a few Markiplier clips, and that's pretty much the end of it. But yes, this game was huge back in the day. I think it still is, honestly. Oh man. So there's this game, WWE 2K15. This was a game I only played on the Xbox One because if you see the 360 version, yeah, is there footage of it? As you can see, it's the graphical upgrade is pretty huge. It still looks like 2K14 with the older consoles and whatnot. I played this a lot on the Xbox One, and I remember being so hyped for it because like it's a new game on the new console. What could go wrong? Pretty much everything can go wrong. It was very bare bones. There's a very bare bones creation suite. There was not a lot of characters. Other than the huge graphical upgrade, it was not that great. The showcase modes were pretty sick though, I will say that. And the introduction of like NXT wrestlers at the time and Sting, you know, that was pretty sick. But other than that, yeah, it was not it. It had CM Punk for the last time until 2K24 came around 10 years later. So yeah, there's that. But man, I remember being so hyped. I was so hyped for this video game. I played it obviously because I loved it. I love wrestling games. But man, looking back at it, man, it was so limited. And plus, 2K, playing online in a 2K game is so bad. Especially during this time, it was so bad. But yeah, it would somewhat get better and better over the years. But 2K can be pretty inconsistent, and they shat the bed when it came to 2K20. 2K24 is good, but I haven't gone around to playing it yet. I should probably get back onto that. But like I said, I want to play the old SmackDown vs. Raw games. I want to play like WWE 12, because these old WWE games, it might just be nostalgia talking, but they slap. They slapped back in the day. This kind of slapped when it first came out, but in retrospect, it's not that good. The showcase mode, however, was pretty good. My career, I never played. I heard it was pretty bad. So there's that. Barely any match types, barely any arenas, barely any characters. Yeah, this one was yeah. Dude, look at Chris Jericho's model, man. Why does his face look like that? I never understood that. He always looks so ugly in these 2Ks until like the later years. Oh, and Edge too, man. Edge looked fucking bad. Good God. Good God. This game sends me back a little bit, but I still hate it. And I guess as an honorable mention, I will mention this here too. GTA San Andreas, because I don't know if I'd ever do a 20-year perspective. I was 2 years old at the time, so who knows. Actually, wait. I can talk about this game, because if you remember, back in 2014, they re-released this for the Xbox 360. Yeah, look, it's right there. They re-released this for the 360. Dude, it's kind of crazy, because like, so I remember playing this when I was a kid. That sounded really bad. Holy crap. I mentioned this last year too, alright? I was exposed to a lot of big boy games at a very early age. And I think I turned out fine. For the most part, alright? But anyway, yes, I remember playing this on the PS2 when I was like really young. And I never got around to playing it ever again because that was not my PS2. So when it eventually came around to re-releasing on the 360, I gobbled that shit up. I bought it and I played it. And I played it weeks on end. I'm pretty sure even months on end. I remember just grinding away at the story mode because I was like, this is one of my favorite games. And I remember having so much fun completing this story, just playing a game. Oh man, the cheats on the cheats on this fucking game. Maybe I'll come around and replay it again for the one time. But like I said, I also want to play GTA 5 again for the one time because it's been 11 years since that dropped. The struggles of a gamer. Alright, now the spiel on video games that I want to mention are out of the way. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but like I said, I'm not gonna run down every video game, every anime, every piece of media, because I have not consumed every piece of media, alright? I stay inside, but I'm very limited with what I consume when I'm inside. With that being said, video games are out of the way, anime is out of the way, let's move on to the music section. And for that, I'm going to go to my Spotify. Oh, yeah, ignore me to listen to Gratitude, alright? There's like 2 songs from there that I actually would listen to unironically. Okay, actually, yeah, there's one I listen to half unironically, and then the other one is Can't Stop Party, alright? So when it comes to the music, I'll be honest, this is also another category where I was barely present for during the time. I never had iTunes or whatever infant streaming service was out at the time. I really only had YouTube and whatever was on the radio. That's what I listened to. Although, I will bring up Vanoss again because he inadvertently introduced me to Metallica. Because he has this one video on GTA 5 where they were doing stuff and he mentions Master of Puppets. God, this fucking video.
Alright, this is our last.
Oh, Mindy
Alright,
Lad.
for our next piece,
Yikes.
we'll be performing Master of Puppets by Metallica.
Ready? A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Holy shit! Master of Puppets, I'm pulling your strings!
Yeah, so this is what pretty much set it off, because eventually I'm like, okay, let me see what these guys are talking about. So I did, and let me tell you, it opened my third eye for music, man. I really had never heard anything like that during the time. Well, that's also because I was 12 years old, but basically after that opening riff and then the middle solo, I was hooked. Well, I think this is the second time I've stumbled upon Metallica. This was the one I actively went to look out for, because if you remember in my Ride the Lightning video, I mentioned that technically the first song I heard was For Whom the Bell Tolls, but that was before I really knew who they really were. This was when I started to realize, oh, this is Metallica, and holy crap, this might be the greatest band of all time. For me, alright? I know there's more metal out there, alright? I know it's a very basic pick, but shut up, alright? They're good. Master Puppets, as popular as the song still is, it's still an amazing song. But anyway, yeah, thanks Vanoss. I didn't really think about making this video because I was I couldn't really think of albums that dropped in 2014 until I looked at what dropped, and then I went, I probably have some things to say. Here are some albums that did release during 2014 that I've either came back around and bumped, or still do need to spin, but thought I'd give them some sort of mention. Let's start with albums I have listened to now. Monster by Future. It's funny too because Future actually released a mixtape recently that it has a lot of highlights. But yeah, this one has a ton of highlights. It's technically a mixtape with him and Metro, but I'm gonna call it an album because it's all semantics anyways. This album had a ton of shit. The title track, oh that's so good. The Savages, freaking the Lil Wayne feature, Fetty, obviously Codeine Crazy, one of Future's biggest songs. I actually did go to Future and Metro Booming's tour, and I was hoping that he would play Monster, but I just noticed that it has one of the least amount of plays throughout this mixtape, which is kind of insane. He did play Codeine Crazy, I will say that. If he played Monster, dude, I would have acted like that one. I made a tweet about it. It's there's this one video of this girl watching a Taylor Swift concert and she breaks down after a song starts playing. I was gonna do that if Monster played. He did not play Monster, so I went home sad. But that's for another video. Yeah, Monster, I think it's Future's best. I know a lot of people will say DS2, which is also pretty good. I think it might go to Monster for now. And again, I'm not too tapped into Future. I've listened to DS2, Monster, was it Slimy Season, What a Time to Be Alive, and you know, his We Don't Trust You series, and The Wizard. Of course, I've listened to Future, but I'm not too deep into his discography. I just know that I do like Monster a lot. I mean, if you have Codeine Crazy and Monster on it, shit. Metro Boomin wants some more. Some junkies, they keep that bed up. On a flight out of London, I can't see nothing but stars. Shake the codeine and spray, cause that's just the way. I'm a monster around these hoes, I'm a monster.
I got them young niggas tweaking like what I'm drunk.
Wish I could bring Rabbit back. 100 shots come after that.
Man, Future was fucking spitting back in the 2010s, man.
Yo, Metro.
Yo, Metro. More. And of course, 808 Mafia. More that bubbly. Drink that mother, drink it money. That's for the mother bitches. Codeine crazy. Codeine. This motherfucking money got me codeine crazy. Yeah, Future was going crazy back in the 2010s. What's next on the list? Pinata. Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs is a artist that I have come around to a lot in the 2020s. Shout out to Madlib. This had a ton of bangers. Scarface, High, Thuggin'. It's like a huge album from Freddie Gibbs. Is it my favorite Freddie Gibbs album? No, I think it might have to go to Alfredo. But I know a lot of people will probably say this is one of Freddie Gibbs' best, which is valid. But I do like Alfredo better. But oh man, this has some hitters, man. Listen to this fucking beat. Oh shit. The smile. Yeah, this fucking album is great. What's next? Days Before Rodeo, officially on streaming services this year, but came out in 2014. I have a video on it, reacting to it not too long ago. There are some songs here that I never knew of, or I've never heard until just now, but there's some bangers on here too. Mamacita, Drugs You Should Try It, Sloppy Toppy. Yeah, like I said in my video, there's some good stuff here. It's not his best, obviously, but it's nice to see where he would end up, knowing what he would release later on in his career. Oxymoron. Schoolboy Q. I listened to Schoolboy Q's newest album, Blue Lips, and I liked it, but I haven't heard this one until recently, and I like it. The only song I can remember listening to was Collard Greens, because, you know, if you play GTA, you fucking know this. Luxury, any ching ching, could buy anything, cop that. Oh, the green's low, make it hot for me, drop that. Down with the shit. Faded Vegas might sponsor the Killer Shake It. God, I need to play GTA 5 again, man. I need to see what I remember from those radio stations. I wasn't a listener of all the radio stations, but I remember breezing through a lot back in the day, you know, just driving in your car, listening to whatever was on there, and man, I did not appreciate it back in the day. Down with the shit, cop this, pop this. Hold up, biatch! This your favorite song? El Pinche Cabron.
Let's get it.
Nights like this, I'm a night like this. Man, I'm a god. Bitch, that became hot. Dude, Kendrick, yeah, there was a bunch of good shit on here. Los Awesome, What They Want, The Purge for freaking Tyler, the Creator, dude. 2014 Tyler, by the way. Choppers and they're knocking at your door. The sirens getting louder. Yeah, nigga. Yeah. You know it's old school Tyler when you got that horrorcore type element with the raps. Yeah. Another good Schoolboy Q album. I need to listen to, what is it? Blank Face. I still need to listen to that. Schoolboy Q, I fuck with him. Oh, hello. I'll do this. Run the Jewels. I listened to the first one. I did not listen to it last year, that's why I did not make it to the video. But what I have listened to is Run the Jewels 2. Man, there is some freaking bangers on Run the Jewels 2, man. And I didn't add them to my playlist. But yes, there's a lot of stuff. Let's see, like, I'm sure Jeopardy was pretty good all my life. Lychee and Steel, yeah, there's a ton of bangers on here, alright? So yeah, shout out to Killer Mike and them. Shout out to Run the Jewels 2, a banger album. Come on, lay it down. I'm not gonna lie, I thought Run the Jewels was a way older group. They came out like in the 2010s. I thought they were a 90s group. Yeah, goes to show you how casual I am with this music stuff. But I'm learning. I've not listened to 3 and 4, but I'm assuming they're probably good too. Vince Staples, Hell Can Wait. It's a little EP here, but as you can see, there's a good amount of bangers on here. Fire, Hands Up. I will say though, if you listen to the newest album, Dark Times, there's a little reference in Blue Suede that I had no idea until I've recently listened to the album.
The blue suede.
And if you go to his newest album, Dark Times,
Down shit tight with they tip down. Just don't forget to smile.
don't forget to smile. Yeah, so when I first heard that on Hell Can Wait, I was like, you know, the thing, I was like, huh, I did not know that. Unless I did mention it in my video when I reacted to it, but I don't know. All I know is that Vince Staples still might be my album of the year. Bunch of nice songs on here. I'm slowly getting to the point where I've listened to most of Vince Staples' discography. Vince Staples is a cool artist. Shout out to Vince. And of course, if anyone's been watching the newest series, I can't forget about this one. Weezer. Everything will be alright in the end. So, yes. This was another good reason for me to make this video, because I've been listening to every Weezer album from start to finish, but man, there is just so much good stuff in this album. Ain't Got Nobody, Back to the Shack, Eulogy for a Rock Band, I will not play here because I already played it a lot. You see my video on it, I liked it. It's a nice good improvement from the 2000s, because 2000s Weezer was a pretty bumpy ride. 2010s have been a slightly less bumpy ride. There's a lot of highlights on this. Here, I'll play Back to the Shack. Guys, I didn't realize that I needed you so much. I forgot that disco sucks. Tore and patch it, play the drums. Take me back to the Strat with the lightning strap out like it's 94. Back to the Shack, yeah! Okay, fine, fuck it, I'll play it. Heroes you've had ruling the planets is a toast to what you did and all that time marches on. Words calling your songs adios, rock band that we love the most. Get the gem in your brain. Goodbye. Okay. Sorry. I always get lost when that song comes on. Find myself so much nice. Everything that I despise about that. My feeling goes polluted by mediocrity. As to you, but you plugged up more. I've had it up to here. The boy next door. Yep, this album is good. Give my reaction a watch, and yeah. You'll agree. Unless you hate Weezer, then that's okay. Alright, those are some albums that released in 2014 that I actually listened to. Here's some albums that I have not listened to yet, but I guess I'll give them a little shout out. 2014 Forest Hills Drive, probably one of J. Cole's best? I don't know. I'm not a huge J. Cole listener. Obviously, there's some huge songs on here like Wet Dreams, Get Off My Dick, No Role Models. I'm telling you, I have not listened to a full J. Cole project. Besides, might delete later. But yeah, we don't talk about that. Yeah, not a huge J. Cole guy. I've listened to his songs, obviously, but I've never gone around to listening to a full project besides his recent one. And yeah, shout out to J. Cole. I'm sorry, but what I should listen to is this Swans album that I've heard has been very, very good. God, 2 hours. Holy crap, a 17-minute song? Holy crap. Yeah, so I saw it got a lot of praise for albums that released in 2014. I've never got around to listening to it, but I've heard it's good. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I don't know if I'm gonna make a video on it, because listening to a 17-minute song is kind of crazy for a YouTube video. But maybe I'll give it a listen. Swans, To Be Kind, one of the best albums of 2014, so I've heard. Let's see, what else is there? FKA Twigs, LP1. I also heard there's some good stuff on here. Never listened to FKA Twigs. Yeah, I know. My casual music listening shows a lot when it comes to like older albums. But yeah, I heard this one was also pretty good. A little bit more tolerable. Those are a few albums that I probably should listen to when it comes to 2014. Now that the album talk is out of the way, let's talk about some radio hits. Cause that's what I was listening to a lot back in the day when I didn't have access to all this music before. I don't know if you guys remember this one, but man, Avril Lavigne, holy god, Hello Kitty, holy Boyd Baker, dude. Man, that guy, whatever happened to that guy, man? Okay. Man, I need to see Metallica live. Yeah, when I was thinking about this video, this song randomly crossed my mind, and I thought I buried it when I first listened to it back in the day, but man, it somehow got back to me. Never been an Avril Lavigne person, but yeah, that was a pretty insane song when it came out. Let's see what's next. Fucking Pharrell. So, quick story. In 6th grade, we had to do a performance for this song. I think it was for May Day, something like that. We were out in the field, we were dancing to this song. Yeah, we had to dance to this song. So you had to listen to the song, God knows how many times while we were practicing it. And man, I liked it when it was out. I'm not a guy who would unironically go, oh yeah, let's play Happy. Because for one, Pharrell has way better songs. And two, no one needs to hear this song anymore, alright? Unless you have kids that really like Despicable Me and the Minions, maybe. But other than that, you do not need to be listening to this song, okay? I remember watching this video a while ago, and where is he? I know he's here. He's got to be here somewhere. Oh! Let's see if I can find it. Okay, yeah, I probably can't find it, but I'm pretty sure Magic Johnson is in this video. I do not want to listen to the song that much to go find it. Okay, but Magic Johnson is in this video, okay? And I remember vividly, I saw this one comment. It was like, why is Magic Johnson in here? He's got AIDS! And I'm like, dude, come on, man. You don't have to do Magic Johnson like that. You can be happy too, man. Magic Johnson can be happy no matter what. But man, ain't that fucking crazy? Don't like Happy. It scars me for life. But shout out for Pharrell. I know the kids probably like it. Anaconda? Anaconda? Man, I remember watching this when I was young. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh god. All about that bass. Meghan Trainor, man. Meghan Trainor. I do not get it. I do not get it, but there's that. Oh, wait. Speaking of which, there's a way better version of All About That Bass by UFC legend Daniel Cormier.
Hello, everyone. I only want you to donate to my campaign if you can afford to.
I can't afford to.
Most of you can't afford to because Joe Biden is a disaster as a president.
Dude, why is his face like that?
Because you
No, I'm all about that cake and chicken. About that cake and chicken. Pretty clear, ain't no size 2, but I can wrestle all the right punches in all the right places to make the top.
We know
That Jones ain't real, come on son, make it stop. And my mama, she told me to worry about your size. Feeding me Popeye chicken legs and thighs. Look at this. So I have to explain to my friends that this guy was a 2 division champ. Don't let this ad fool you, man. He will fuck you up. This is a scary motherfucker. So yeah, there's that. This is a better version, obviously. Magic, Rude. This song would play a lot back in here. And you know, I didn't know this, but they're white. These guys are white. I had no idea. Ain't that kind of crazy? Some white boys making some reggae. Dude, this would play a lot on the radio. I think it still does, honestly. But yeah, that's insane. Probably one of the more tolerable tracks from the year. Why you gotta be so rude? One that wasn't as tolerable. Oh, brother.
First things first, I'm the realist.
Featuring Charlie XCX? Why I do not remember that. Does she do the chorus?
I'm so fancy, heading to Tokyo. Remember my name. Oh.
Okay, well she wasn't lying. She wasn't lying. Shout out to Brat. Yeah. Well then. GGY. Who that? Who the? God, man. What else? Dark Horse, Katy Perry. You know, has anyone listened to her latest album? I probably don't plan to listen to it. I've never been a Katy Perry enthusiast, But I will say, Katy Perry ruled the 2010s, didn't she? Good God, she was all over the place. And she had slappers. She had slappers. California Girls. What? Last Friday Night, I Kissed a Girl. She did rule the 2010s, I will say that. The 2020s, however, I don't know. I don't know. Speaking of ruling the year, God, fucking Jason Derulo talk dirty to me. Oh my God, man, that guy. Oh, and he also had What You Say. I forgot, man. But yeah, now all he does is look at shorts. Okay then, yeah, this that. I remember fucking with those tracks. Talk dirty. Trumpets. I do like What You Say though. That one still slaps. But nowadays, I don't listen to Jason Derulo. I'm not bumping that Jason Derulo, okay? Look, man, I didn't know better at the time, okay? Give me a break. And I guess I'll just end it off with this, cause this also happened during the year. Bruno Mars's halftime show. Possibly, a little biased, but possibly one of the best modern Super Bowl performances. The swagger, the songs he played, he was dancing like fucking crazy, I remember. The Red Hot Chili Peppers coming into the show was a little weird. But I mean, hey, it's the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Shout out to them. I remember looking at this a lot, man. Bruno was on top of the world, huh? Crazy how much hits he has with such a very small discography. I will say though, I do want to imagine what it would be like if he did this post Silk Sonic, because that would have been insane considering all the newer songs he had. But you know, 2014 Bruno, not bad. That guy's a freaking star. We need more music, Bruno. We need more music. If the world was... Alright, yeah, that's enough. That's enough of the radio popular hits. That's all I can stomach right now. I will leave it there, for I do not want a poisonous nostalgia bomb going off in my room. And since I mentioned 2004 in the video game section, I'm gonna mention this here. 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, My Chemical Romance, I have a video on that. The College Dropout, 2004. I have a video on that. I do not have a video on Slipknot's Volume 3, but I will shout out before I forget. Go. April shines inside and outside world, and I sealed in time. Claustrophobic, closing in and I'm catastrophic. Got no time to lose, I'm just caught up in all the kettle. Hold your breath. Listen, I am the world you can stand. I will remember before I forget. Before I forget that. I am the world before I forget that. This is a banger song. What else to say? But yeah, that album slaps. And yeah, that's all I will say about 2004. Alright, yeah. That's my little spiel of media a decade ago. Be sure to come back later this year when I look 5 years into the past, because there are probably some things I can yap about in 2019. Anyway, what were you doing in 2014? Do you remember any of these things? Do you remember all of these things because they were pretty popular at the time? And I'm just playing catch up after staying inside and playing WWE video games all my life? Maybe. Please don't say you weren't even born yet, though. I will not fathom the idea of someone being born in 2014 and already being on the internet. But we know. Those types of people exist. They walk among us. In the shadows. They're coming. And they're coming for all of us. Or they might just be on TikTok. Who knows? Woo! Like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. Watch my other videos if you want to. Thanks for the support lately. We're closing in on 500 subs. We're just about to reach 400, so that would be nice if you would subscribe right now, please. Or else you'll get sucked back into a portal of 2014. And you can only listen to the mainstream hits. That's right. No pinata for you, baby. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Watch my other videos. Thanks. Shout out to 2014. Shout out to 2024. Music. See ya. Alright, bye. Fucking. God damn it. God damn it.